Maybe it's another Porsche Taycan.
Maybe this is a comparable vehicle to the entry-level one.
It hadn't struck me before, it might well be. Porsche Taycans are not that much dearer than this, and this is faster.
Yeah. But does it handle as well? Does it brake as well?
That's why you're here.
Let's find out.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, buddy. Brought you all the way back from Donington. Would you say this car's got no personality? Oh, EVs are boring.
No, I don't think it's. I think this guy has a lot of personality. More so than some other EVs we've driven, if I'm honest. Let's go back into sport mode.
Yes.
It's a lot nicer.
There's nothing wrong with the other modes. They're just a little too wallowy for our sporty nature, aren't they?
You know, you punch up the hill there. I mean, that's really, that road is very undulating there. That's actually very impressive.
Bumpy, twisty.
It's that EV. I always find that fun, I have to say. Little seatbelt pre-tensioners happening there.
Yeah. Oh, strike. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know anything that would grip that well through there. Your GT3 would be chattering on the tyres there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
That put the power down so well.
It's got those EV characteristics that we like, you know, I'm certainly getting used to.
You've driven quite a few of them now.
Yeah, we have. You know, we've got a pretty good handle on them now.
Far out. I can't wipe the stupid grin off my face.
Yeah.
I've got a surprise for you. First impression, you haven't even seen it yet.
Not another EV, is it, Stu?
Yes, it is.
That'd be right, wouldn't it?
Ta-da!
Yeah, okay.
How do you like that?
Yeah, look, it's different, isn't it?
It's very pretty.
It's different. I like the colour.
I reckon it's actually really pretty.
Not a bad looking thing, is it?
It's called Matira Blue. It's named after a beach in the Cook Islands.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I don't really like the grille, but they've got to do something, haven't they? I mean, what do you do?
There's a charge port.
Yeah, I'm going to get the practicality aspect of that. That's really good, but what's the most common on-road car crash? Run out the back of
you
someone?
go at the back of somebody. You won't in one of these though.
Yeah, right.
It's got everything to stop that happening.
Is that right, is it? Okay.
Yeah. It's impossible to crash in the car in front.
Sure.
Bentley or Aston Martin?
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Wait till you see the quilted seats. They're pure Bentley.
Yeah, that's gone a bit Aston, and let's have two of them instead.
The lines are nice too, aren't they? Not fussy.
Yeah, no, this is good, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Solar roof?
Yep.
No sunroof.
Yeah, that's all right.
This is their Halo model. This is we're going to show off what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a handsome car.
I like the fact that it's not an SUV.
Yes.
That's a positive.
I knew you'd like that. Do you want to see the motor?
Yes, we better have a look at that.
Mate, the big V12 under here. Just you wait. You're going to love this. Look at the size of that bonnet.
V12 under here.
It looks like it, doesn't
Actually,
it?
no, it looks like a proper engine, doesn't it?
It's impressive. What you're seeing now is it's obviously built as a petrol car platform.
Yeah.
Unlike the GV60, which is their new full electric, which is built on the new, same as the Ioniq 5. You can see no storage. Massive bonnet,
nothing there.
and there's no storage.
One in the front, one in the back.
Yes, two motors. Two motors, 136 kilowatts each, 272.
Yeah.
But the torque, it's just effortless. It just goes
about.
whoosh.
It's a quality piece of equipment, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Napa leather.
Yeah. You see the Napa leather's brilliant.
There's a natural timber look they do. This is called forged wood. I don't know how you actually forge wood.
Yeah. I think it's plastic, Stu.
It's not. Try the back seat. This is a luxury limo, 5 metres long.
It's a long car, isn't it? But
yeah.
Yeah, it does have that weird, actually not a lot of headroom either when you look at it.
Not a real lot.
Not a lot there, and obviously there's an awful lot of batteries under my feet right there.
Exactly.
About that deep, I would have thought.
Yeah, look at the support underneath your thighs there.
So that's that long journey would be a little bit of an issue. That actually would be quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not very good, is it?
No. Interesting.
That's really highlighting the legacy platform there.
Yeah.
You think about who's going to buy this car? That's the question today I want to ask you. Who's
VIPs to and from the airport, Stu.
It's got fancy leather, but it's not spacious enough.
No.
And luggage space. You'd think there'd be a lot, wouldn't you?
Got it. Okay.
And if you look, it's actually not very deep, and it's an odd shape.
Yeah.
It looks stunning, but we've already found some shortcomings.
From a practicality point of view.
All right. Definitely coffee time.
Yep, let's go.
What is it?
I don't know, we haven't figured that out yet.
It's a nice colour.
Keen to get people's opinions.
I was following.
It's a nice colour.
Thanks. Everybody loves it.
Price.
$156,000 on the road. Yeah. So significantly cheaper than your BMW, Audi and Mercedes, the equivalents.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have a small child, I would definitely
Yeah.
like it.
Off to the playground with you.
Yes, that's right.
Who do you think they're really aiming at? Athletic elegance is the catch cry.
Athletic elegance.
Yeah, do you like that? I came up with that all by myself.
There you go.
No, I didn't. The G80 all-wheel drive provides a refined zero-emission... I should do it in the voice, shouldn't I?
What voice is that?
The radio voice.
No, we don't need the radio.
Provides a refined zero-emission range halo model, sitting above the G80 3.5 twin-turbo, which is the same motor we drove in the GV70.
Yeah.
That was a good motor, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good engine.
279 kilowatt. And this has got similar power, but much more torque. You know, the thing I like to do with this car is what I call doing the time warp. When someone's following you closely and you come to a corner like this, like we'll go left, right here, and you just ease through it at an elegant speed. Because it's all-wheel drive, as you turn right and then exit the corner, you just stomp it for 1 second.
Yeah.
And then you're 200
It's
metres
gone.
up the road,
Yeah,
and
that's
the
right.
guy behind goes, what happened?
What happened
Because
there?
you're back at 60 k's again.
Yeah.
So that's doing the time warp. 96% battery.
Oh, we're laughing.
Yep. That should get us through the day. That should get us through the whole week.
Sydney's leafy upper North Shore, for
Well,
those who don't know it.
Well, but the roads are still as shit as everywhere else.
Yeah.
And this is actually a pretty bumpy road, but it uses the cameras to look at the road ahead to determine the ride quality with the adaptive dampers.
Yeah.
And I reckon the ride, even in sport mode, is fantastic.
About 2.5 tonne, isn't it, surely?
No,
No.
2.265. They've used a bit of lightweight material stuff, so
Yeah, right.
right here, yeah, follow the ambo. I've commissioned him to come along to, in case we get in trouble today. And an instantaneous 700 Newton meters of torque to propel the luxury four-wheel drive from rest to 100 in 4.9 seconds. I scoff at your 4.9 seconds. It can actually do 4.6 or something like that.
Yeah, right. Okay.
It's dynamite. And here's where we see the limitation of the car, isn't it? Because that big battery's got to go somewhere, and it actually has compromised
The ergonomics of the car.
the legroom?
Yeah, definitely. Headroom, as a result.
Well, it's a sedan, so you don't expect SUV levels of headroom.
No, but I'd expect a bit more than that. I mean, it's okay, but you wouldn't want to be much taller than me. The seat's down all the way.
Yeah. And the steering wheel doesn't come close enough either.
No. Nice weight on the steering wheel. It's not overly assisted.
And that's in sport mode, so it does adjust the weight
Yeah.
with the different modes.
Yeah. They do
Yeah.
like the Genesis iPedal setup, the one pedal driving, if we want to call it that. I think they calibrate that almost better than anyone else. And I like the fact you can adjust that with the paddles on the steering wheel as you could with a paddle shift car.
So down a hill here, you can add a bit more, and it
really
doesn't
good
need
feature.
to.
You go up to full iPedal, or if you want to take it off. So yeah, that's for me is a great feature.
Comfortable stretch options that use seat movements to help reduce your body fatigue. Have you noticed that when you change modes, if I can do this, the seat goes ballistic and it starts
Yeah,
pushing
it
you
does.
up and the bolsters go out? Isn't that annoying?
I don't know why it makes you sit a little higher when you go into comfort mode, but I'd be driving this Sport all the time, if I'm honest.
Yep. Because it's not harsh.
No, not harsh at all. Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? The Taycan.
And it does pull the stability and the traction control in really early. Like I was on the throttle there and it wasn't giving me anything, you know? Nice bit of straight road like that, it gives you all the power. Get on it around the corner. It does have a pretty big hesitation as that traction control kicks in, when it doesn't really need to. So I reckon we might flick that off. What do you reckon, Stu?
I trust you. Wet road, bumps, 700 Newton meters.
Yeah. You've just got more response there, haven't you? It's a bit,
Okay,
it's cutting in just a bit too early.
okay.
Because the car has so much traction and grip,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's so stable. It's not going to go out of shape.
This
Feel
is
that
actually
round
hurting
there?
my neck.
So you've got that instant power there now, which that wasn't quite there before.
Yeah.
So there's another thing. I'd probably be driving this car in sport all the time with the traction and stability control off. So there you go.
Viewers, don't recommend you turn stability control off for just your normal driving.
There's a lot to like, isn't there?
There is.
I mean, there's not much up a hill. That's a steep hill, isn't it?
20% grade.
Yeah. Not much is going to get up a hill like that. No petrol engine car, no matter how much horsepower you've got, is going to get up that hill like that. And how many of these are you going to see on the road, Stu?
Not many.
No. You want something that's a bit exclusive that your neighbour doesn't have? Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Just, I like the fact now that, to be honest, with the stability and traction off, I've just got that instant throttle response. It is so grippy. There's no hint of understeer, there's no hint of oversteer. Rough old Aussie roads here.
Mate, I wasn't this quick in the I-20N along here. Yeah. That is seriously quick car. It actually needs more side support in the seats because the pace it generates, the speed it goes, I haven't got enough support.
Right, driver's seat's pretty good, and you've got a lot of adjustment there, as you can tell.
Like 18 ways. I can't bring the bolsters in.
Okay.
Like yours, you've got pneumatic bolsters.
Yeah, right.
Well,
So let's go back to comfort mode and just sort of feel the difference there. It is.
Sorry,
it
a little
wallowy.
little bit of porpoising,
Yeah,
a little wallowy.
There is a bit, yeah. Steering's lightened up a little bit too light, but I mean, you know, that's what you'd expect. It goes comfort mode.
I actually find that wallowing a little queasy.
It is a little bit, isn't it, if I'm honest? Yeah.
The sport's the go. If you got one of these, just put it in sport mode, it's still perfectly comfortable. Great that they fit it standard with the Pilot Sport 4s, the Michelins. 19-inch rims, EV. How's that consumption going with all that? Oh, that must be what we've added today. We've added 12 kilometres from the solar roof.
Tell you what, I'm getting seasick, and I don't even get seasick
Yeah,
when that's in eco and comfort mode.
yeah,
It's so much nicer in sport mode.
it is. The compelling proposition for the Genesis. Genesis owners enjoy effortless ownership with our comprehensive suite of services. 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, 8-year warranty on all the high voltage stuff, 5-year complimentary servicing, and when you buy it, they'll either give you for free a charger to install in your garage at home or 5 years worth of ChargeFox, free charging.
Right, okay.
And not only that, in that first 5 years, also Genesis to you and valet service, so you need it serviced, they'll come and pick it up, give you another one. So that's really cool.
No, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
10 years roadside assistance in case it breaks down, but no Genesis has ever broken down ever, so you won't ever need that.
Really?
I just made that up, but
I think so, yeah.
I'm in total marketing mode today.
You are, aren't you? The support that Genesis give with this car, with warranties, particularly on the electrical side of things, outstanding. The servicing is brilliant. But not just this Genesis, but all EVs. Are you going to have a 20-year-old one of these with 300,000 Ks on the clock, or will it be scrap after 8 years when all those warranties run out? If you keep it, 8 years isn't a lot on a car in my view. Like, what about 15 years? Will anyone really want one, regardless of the price and the value? Would you take a risk in even having one?
It's a question that comes up a lot. And you know what? I'm saying yes, I would take the risk. And here's why. Nothing seems to be evolving quicker than battery technology. Even the boring old Prius, now 25 years old, tops the list of cars that people keep the longest, with the original battery. Maybe it's just a reflection on the type of people that own them, but they're more than twice as likely to reach 200,000 miles than the average petrol car. Remember Mark Edwards' Tesla Model S that we reviewed, now over 8 years old, showed minimal battery and range degradation. Tesla claims around 10% degradation after 200,000 miles. There seems to be so much misinformation out there. You see it a lot on social media. The idea that these battery packs are throwaway after 10 years at prohibitive expense and waste. But it just doesn't seem to be valid. Just like with phones, they're full of valuable metals for recycling. It makes no sense to throw them away. Lithium ion doesn't end up in landfill. Tesla says it recycles 100% of their old batteries. Current belief by manufacturers is that the batteries will outlast the rest of the car. What am I trying to say? I think the concerns about the batteries in modern EVs are somewhat overblown. That if you're considering a full battery EV, you should be concerned about range, but not really about your battery's longevity. Okay, here we go. I'm ready.
Just up to 60 k's an hour there. Does it nicely, doesn't it?
It certainly does. But who's going to buy it? Is it going to steal the Euro owners? Is it going to go for your BMW, Audi, Mercedes guys?
I think potentially it could do, price-wise, if you want something different that your neighbour doesn't have in the leafy upper North Shore of Sydney.
Everybody that walked past went, oh, like the colour, what is it? People thought it was an Aston, a Jag, a Bentley, but not a lot picked it for a Korean car, straight up. Before we figure out who'd buy it, we have to figure out what it is and what are its competitors. Even though it's appointed like one and quiet as a mouse, it's not really a limo. It's a blisteringly fast sports sedan. Despite its size, it's nimble, it's got a good turning circle, and you can see it's perfectly at home on bumpy, tight, twisty stuff. To look at it, you wouldn't have thought that, would you? You might think it's a car for old men, but Genesis tell me they can shift everyone they can get their hands on, and not necessarily to old farts like me either. Let's say you're a successful business owner and you want a stylish, luxury four-door that's not a same looking SUV. You're a sporty guy or girl, so it's got to be super fast, sub 5 seconds to 100, great handling, ride and grip, and preferably all-wheel drive for that family snow trip. Electric, yeah, maybe, but you're still happy to throw 100 grand or more at a luxury indulgence car. Well, looking at turbo petrol cars, there's actually not a lot in the 100k to 150k range. At 160k, the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quattrofoglio fits the bill. Super fast, shorter, lighter, faster, 3.8 seconds, but rear-wheel drive only, and maybe too much sport and not enough luxury. So you go, nah. Audi S6, all-wheel drive, 331 kilowatts, 4.5 seconds, very classy, definitely an option. BMW 550i xDrive, all-wheel drive, huge torque, 3.8 seconds, but getting close to 190 grand. Mercedes, the natural competitor, E53 AMG 4MATIC, 4.5 seconds to 100, exactly like this car, same size, same performance as the Genesis, but also 190 grand. Or you could just save some money and buy the petrol version of this car, the G80 3.5 Turbo Sports Luxury. All the same mod cons, and only a little bit slower at 5.1 seconds, but at $130,000, save yourself 25 big ones. Good option. And then you think, maybe, no, I'd like to go electric. What do you got? I suppose you could get the new BMW i7 or a Merc EQS 53 AMG until you find out they're 350 grand. Are you mad? Just no. So, if you really want an elegant sedan that's not a Me Too SUV, just two competitors come to mind. Here's one we mentioned before. Porsche Taycan, base model, great driver's car. But unbelievably, it only has half the torque of the Genesis, a shorter range, it's rear-wheel drive, takes more than 5 seconds to get to 100, and the cheapest you can get your bum in one on the road is $176,595. Or of course, the obvious electric car, the Tesla Model S. Not the Plaid, just the dual motor. Super long range, mega fast 3.2 seconds, all-wheel drive. Pricing's probably going to be comparable, we don't know. You can order one online, put down a deposit, they can't even tell you when it'll get here or how much it'll cost. But when you sit in one, maybe that minimalist interior freaks you out a bit, or just doesn't flatter you and feel as luxo as you'd expect. So while the Model S makes you think you're piloting some kind of starship, the G80 has also an overwhelming amount of fancy technology to either impress or possibly confuse you. Let me attend to that for you.
Yeah, it's blurry.
We go to settings, cluster, 3D, cluster depth, off. Did that just change back?
Yeah. Yep, that's very good. The head-up display is great.
And look, we've been fanging around. We've still got almost 90% charge.
Yeah, that is good.
Look, most people, range. They're going to need to charge this thing like once a month, a lot of people.
Well, your average Sydney driver, yeah.
But when they do a trip, what if I do? What if I drive to Perth? Well, when did you last drive to Perth? Oh, I never have, but it's on my bucket list.
Proper regenerative braking going on there. And it actually works really nicely. I've said it before, but they have the best system.
The fact that you can adjust it on the wheel just like you would paddle shift down, up and down gears.
The dampening is very, very impressive, isn't it? But the throttle steers a little more nicely than some of the other EVs we've driven. You can just change the balance of the car mid-corner just with lifting off. Get a bit of that weight on the front, bit of that weight transfer. Bites again.
That's your pet thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it sort of is my pet thing, and probably people get sick of hearing about it, but as a driver, I really like to be able to do that mid-corner and change the balance of the car just by what I'm doing with the throttle. Build quality is sensational.
Yeah. See behind. I can see whether you're staying in your lane. You don't need lane departure warning. You've got me to tell you.
Did I get the Apex there, Stu? I think I did.
Mate, you haven't missed an Apex since 1988. Sorry to sound like a bit of a fanboy, but it's true. Frigging awesome car. Things I didn't expect. The ride, even in sports mode, is superb. I have no idea how it works, but the way that electronically controlled suspension sees potholes and adapts to them before you get there is amazing. I haven't even touched on half of the technology in it, but the highlights for us were the incredible electronic dynamic torque vectoring. Sounds a bit confusing, but combined with the all-wheel drive, it puts power to the outside wheels in corners and even slows or brakes the inside wheels. And it also seamlessly switches between rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive as it has to, always puts power to the wheels that need it most. The result? Great turn-in, no understeer, no oversteer, and huge grip mid-corner and out of the corners. It's a big car that drives like a small car, really fun. Throw this big saloon into a bumpy tight hairpin, the same ones we enjoyed in the Hyundai i30N and i20N and the Porsche GT cars, and it just hooks in and goes. And by the time your buddy following you has shuffled gears and got back on the boost, this barge has already arrived at the next corner. Fabulous.
So you know, I like the interior of this car. It's impressive, and you know, when I compare that to, if you're looking at Tesla, as much as most things about Tesla are sensational, the interior is just a deal breaker for me. I just can't stand the interior of them. Obviously, a lot of people love them, but to me, no. But yeah, this is you know, lovely. I like the way it's laid out, like the way it feels.
And it doesn't feel like a 5 metre long car, is it?
No.
It's as quiet as can be. It uses the stereo to generate opposite phase sound to cancel out the wind and road noise, just like a giant pair of noise cancelling headphones. Really clever. Disappointments? Very few, but they're very significant. Neither Mark or I could get an ideal seating position. The seat does not go low enough and the wheel doesn't come close enough. And the back seat area, as plush as it looks, toe room and thigh support, not nearly enough. What is excellent though is the range and the efficiency of the drivetrain. I did not expect it to be so economical for such a heavy car. It is a genuine rival to Tesla. I saw as little as 11 kilowatt hours per 100k around the burbs. And for the whole test, we got about 19. Really good efficiency. So this car seems to be in a class of its own. 156,000 is a lot to spend. If you've been looking for a big, fast Euro sports luxury saloon, just go and drive one. I'd be very surprised if you're not hugely impressed.
Well, it's certainly a very interesting car. I like the way it performs. I like the way it looks. Quality's sensational. And it's a lot of fun to drive. If I was looking at an EV, it'd have to be on my list.
Thank you very much, Nikki, Guido, all the gang at Genesis Hyundai.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great. Thank you very much, you guys.
Appreciate it. Lovely car. Some drawbacks. Let's ask those other guys what they think of the rear seat.
See what they reckon of the back. I haven't been in the back.
Yeah. Well, certainly comfy.
So your feet are sitting a lot higher off the ground than normal.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Look at this.
This
Look
is
at
very
stuff you
cool.
can do here.
Yeah, lots of gadgets here. But look, you wouldn't want to be sitting in here for too long. There's not a lot of support under the back of the thighs there and headroom as well. I mean, we're fairly tall, but we're not super tall.
It is an SUV. Sorry, it is a sedan, not an SUV.
Yeah. Well, that's
But
right.
look, you get all this stuff too, and the screens.
Yeah, so this is good. But yeah,
A little bit limited.
seat-wise, yeah, some issues in the back.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
reckon?
Right.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair enough.
A bit of a,
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a shortcoming there.
yeah.
All right, thanks guys.
Well done, guys.
Oh hey, you made it right through to the end of the video. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please share it with your motoring friends. And above all, click the little subscribe thing down here so you can see the latest videos when we bring them out, hopefully each week. I look forward to seeing you soon.